Cosmetic procedures have been on the rise during the pandemic. While it might seem like mask wearing and staying indoors would dampen the motivation for people to alter their looks, beauty clinics have seen the opposite trend. Yeon-seung went out to find out why.
The increased use of video conferencing during the pandemic has led to a surprise boom in plastic surgeries. So apparently, as people spent the workday in front of unflattering reflections of themselves in Zoom meetings, they started flocking to beauty clinics to address what they don't like. And as a person whose job is to be on camera all the time, I can definitely see where these people are coming from. There were more than a couple times where I felt insecure in front of the camera and as if my flaws were being accentuated. I feel like I look chubbier on screen, my eyes look smaller, and it just feels like every bit of my insecurity is being exposed to the camera and there's nowhere to hide. While other industries have been struggling, plastic surgeons and dermatologists in South Korea have seen a 10% on-year rise in profit for most of 2020.
코로나 때 그 성형수술이 많이 늘었다고 해요. 혹시 왜 그러신 것 같으신가요?
Since a lot of people work from home nowadays, I think they're trying to improve themselves while they have time at home.
I know someone who's gotten a nose job, but no one could see the bandages under the mask, so it was okay.
I think in Israel also, a lot of people went to surgeries, Botox, all these kind of things because of the Zoom and the way they saw themselves on the computer.
If someone has pretty eyes, but the lower part of the face is just not it, they might get stressed out because people call them out for mask fishing. So I can see people trying to get work done on the lower part of the face.
Masks and Zoom calls were often mentioned as reasons behind the surge. So we took to dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and dentists to see if these activities linked to the pandemic were actually behind cosmetic trends.
Cosmetic eye surgeries have increased since that part of the face stands out the most when people are wearing masks. Also, since people hide their noses under their mask, this gives them an opportunity to get a nose job.
As people started wearing masks during the pandemic, more people have started getting procedures like braces, dental surgery, or cavity treatments because they can hide it under the mask. So our profit actually went up.
One of the largest clinics in Seoul that specializes in dermatology, plastic surgery, and dental work said that initially their profit took a hit in the beginning of the pandemic. But recently they've seen it bounce back with an increase of patients in their 40s and over. These clients started caring more about their forehead wrinkles and their drooping eyes, and the clinic's plastic surgeon think it's because of masks. The clinic saw a 12% increase in lifting procedures in 2020, and more than 70% of them were clients in their 40s and over.
There's no law that states only women should be prettier. Men can get work done too. I'm also wearing a wig, and I'm thinking about getting my eyebrows done.
There are men who get plastic surgery, especially for their eyes.
It's become a trend for men to get work done on their eyes to make them stand out more and make themselves seem more approachable. We lift up drooping eyes without double eyelid surgery, and many men have been getting that procedure.
One social media influencer even flew all the way from Florida to Seoul to improve the way she looked on camera.
I spend hours editing my videos and I'm looking at myself for hours and hours. So I have a lot of time to look at myself. And something that I know that I wanted to alter or revise so I could present myself better was my nose.
Before, people would bring pictures of celebrities and say that they want to look like this. But now, since a lot of people use Zoom and filters, they started noticing that they look different on screen from how they look in the mirror. So they started developing specific needs about how they want to look.
And this phenomenon isn't just unique to South Korea. Countries around the world have been seeing a rise in cosmetic procedures. The surge caught the attention of assistant professor of dermatology at Harvard Medical School, Shadi Kurosh. She found this trend curious and surveyed other dermatologists about what was driving their clients to get cosmetic surgery. Most of the dermatologists surveyed had seen a rise in clients, and an overwhelming majority of their clients had answered video conferencing as a reason for consultation. People had become more self-aware of what they perceive as flaws in their appearances as they were being streamed online. This had subconsciously driven them to modify their looks. Professor Kurosh dubbed this phenomenon Zoom dysmorphia. While experts say this shouldn't be viewed in the same degree as body dysmorphia, a serious mental disorder, it is still having real-life ramifications on people's self-esteem and their decisions.
Zoom dysmorphia happens in age groups that frequently use Zoom. It is more likely to affect college students and middle-aged groups rather than teenagers. Through video conferencing, we keep noticing our flaws, and this can be seen as another type of the corona blues.
Many people with body dysmorphia or low self-esteem often don't realize that the root of the problem comes from within rather than outside. And here in South Korea, the conversation about mental health is often brushed under the table. There are so many plastic surgeons, dermatologists, and beauty specialists for people unhappy about their looks, but not as many therapists or psychiatrists to help people figure out where their unhappiness is coming from.
If a person worries a lot about what others think of them, they'll find it easier to visit a plastic surgeon or a dermatologist rather than a therapist.
According to this expert, 10% of people suffering from body dysmorphia will visit a dermatologist, and a third of them will seek rhinoplasty before ever consulting a therapist.
On screen, it's really easy to notice subtle parts of your looks and think of them as flaws. But in real life, others don't realize them. People always try to look for their own flaws first. But I hope they know they don't actually look like that in real life.
A screen often shows a distorted version of yourself, and on a flat screen, it's so easy to pick out what you don't like. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with trying to present the best version of yourself, but if you're basing your self-worth on an inaccurate self-portrait, that's something to look out for. Yeon-seung, Arirang News.